earlier than I made it to court this morning, so I'm improving as the day goes on. Thanks for everyone for coming today and supporting your friends and family. This is always one of my favorite days of the year. I really wish we could give an award to every teacher. Y'all do so much for your students and the community. I mean, at the end of the day, like, if it wasn't for y'all, who knows what would happen to a lot of these kids in our community. You might be the only person that really cares about them in their lives. And, I mean, it's sad, but it's also incredible how much so many of you like to give on the day-to-day. I just want to thank you all for just having the heart and the passion to do that. I know I'm from Ponca. I grew up in Ponca. If it wasn't for the teachers that I had, I grew up in a broken home like a lot of students and in the world today. And if it wasn't for the teachers and the community I had, I wouldn't be where I am today. So if you ever get a little worried or frustrated, know that there's this whole community that wants to support there and be there with you side by side to make sure that the next generation succeeds. But everyone that's here, congratulations. You are the teacher year at your school. I mean, that's decided by your peers. So that's an honor on itself. We can only choose one teacher of the year. I wish we could give you all an award, as I mentioned previously, but at the end of the day, there's only one. It's like a Lord of the Rings quote. But thanks for coming. I just want to introduce the board real quick that's here, specifically Deanna Jackson. She's not on the board, but she makes the world go round for us. And she's had a lot more on her plate this year. If y'all didn't know, we were allowed to raise a few $100,000, and it's going to happen annually to do stuff for EPS. So that's going to be awesome. This community, if you saw the announcement about the tennis courts, that's the first thing we did. And we're going to have some matching funds to try to retain teachers and help more teachers get a college education, get like people that are working in the classroom properly certified, because we can always have more teachers. We always will need more teachers. The rest of the board, we're going to start at the end with Joe Hyder, Marina Ferris. I guess everyone's just going to sit down. You guys all know our very it's just Amber. No, y'all know Amber. And we got the other half of the couple. They're wearing their Sooner red. Buster. And we got our very own Dr. Darryl Floyd. He's super excited, and I'm shocked he sat by Buster today because, you know, Texas Tech beat OU, and, you know, he calls it, well, guns up, I prefer go Pokes. So I'll let Dr. Floyd come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Taylor. We appreciate it. First, I'd like to say thank you to our school board members. I know we do have a few here tonight with us, and we are very thankful for the support that they provide us, as well as our EPS Education Foundation board members that are up here. And I know a lot of people put a lot of hard work into not only this event, but many other events that the EPS Education Foundation board handles throughout the year, and we're very grateful for all the money that they raise, and they turn that right back to our employees and all to the benefit of our students as well. Janet Jackson has already been mentioned, along with the other Education Foundation board members. They work tirelessly in putting this event together each year, and it's always great for us to be able to recognize our support employees of the year, as well as our teachers of the year, and we'll get through that in just a minute. We'll do it in that order, do the support and then the teachers. So first thing I'd like to do is to say that there is no greater honor than to be nominated by your peers and the folks that you work with for an award such as this tonight. The 3 support professionals of the year and the 17 campus teachers of the year finalists that we're recognizing here this afternoon are fantastic examples of what is good, what is right, and what is excellent about Enid Public Schools. And we're happy to be able to recognize that tonight. So, at this time, I would like to ask all of our nominees, both the 3 support employee nominees and all of our 17 Campus Teacher of the Year nominees to stand, please, and remain standing for just a minute, and we'll hold our applause until just a minute, and we'll recognize them all together in just a minute. So if all of the nominees will stand, please. And so we've got, again, 17 Campus Teacher of the Year nominees, and then 3 support nominees that we'll be recognizing with some awards and pictures here in just a minute. And then at the end, we'll take group pictures. But again, it's an honor for all these folks to be nominated, and we know that they go above and beyond. All these folks standing to a person go the extra mile for students, for their colleagues, for other employees, for parents, and for community members. A common theme amongst them all is that they are dedicated and they go above and beyond the call of duty, oftentimes simply because there is a need, they see the need, and then they go about fulfilling that need. And so it's a joy and a pleasure for me to be able to be a part of celebrating these finalists with you this afternoon. Please help me congratulate all of them with a great big round of applause. Thank you very much. You guys can have a seat. We appreciate you being here with your families tonight. And I'll turn it over to our Executive Director of the Education Foundation, Ms. Janet Jackson.
Good evening. I get to do the fun part. I'm going to introduce first our support professional finalists. And, this is your night. So if your family members want to come up and take pictures while you're recognized, we encourage them to do that. We have plenty of time. And then also if our assistant superintendents, Mr. Rader and Mrs. Rhodes, want to come down to get pictures with candidates from their campuses, we invite you to do that as well. And we're going to start with our district support professional year finalists. These finalists have been nominated by their peers, and the winners were chosen by a committee of community members through a blind selection process. Finalists, when I call your name, please come forward to be recognized right over here by Foundation President Taylor Venus and District Superintendent Dr. Darrell Floyd. Our first nominee is Tina McGowan. Tina wears many hats at Adams Elementary. She assists with the STEAM lab and the library, as well as being a crossing guard, a basketball coach assistant, and the PTO president. She was nominated for her willingness to help wherever needed. Her colleague, Megan Mayfield, said, Tina is always thinking of ways to inspire students to grow in their learning and makes connections with students. She has a heart of gold, showing school pride and showcasing our school to the community. Congratulations. Our next finalist is Sue Richmond. Sue has been with the district for 10 years. She started at Coolidge Elementary, and she's moved to Adams Elementary to continue working with Principal Reva Gregory. Richmond is a special education paraprofessional, but has a hand in creating a caring and fun space at Adams by implementing Joke Thursdays. Brianna, fellow Adams employee, nominated Robinson for Support Professional of the Year by saying, she comes to work each and every day with a huge smile on her face. All the kids absolutely love her. She is truly an amazing person, and EPS is so very lucky to have her. Thank you, Sue. And our third finalist is Elizabeth Zaranana at Taft Elementary. Elizabeth is a library aide, and she enjoys seeing her students' face light up when she finds them a book they've been asking for. She is also invaluable with translating needs at Taft. Colleague Alicia Chick shared that Zaranana has been instrumental in helping a student in need. Chick said Liz took the time to help them with starting their day off on the right foot every morning and checking on them throughout the day. Not only is this student thriving, but they're enjoying coming to school, and we've been able to build a bridge through She is invaluable to Taft. Thank you so much. Okay. We're going to actually take a moment to look at a video that was produced by Mark Ray and EPSTE. So if you want to look at the screens on either side here.
Thank you for being patient whenever, I have so many things to do and they just wait until I get to whatever they need from me. And yes, thank you for being supportive. But especially when they look for a book, they have been asking me because it's so popular and I finally get it. They're like, yes, thank you, Missy. So yeah, just the look on their faces when they get that book that they really want.
It's a privilege, it's an honor. I was beside myself. I wasn't expecting it, and it was a pleasant surprise. Just seeing them grow and knowing that we're having an impact on them, and that just to see them happy and excited about learning. Be there for your kids, go in with an open mind, just be that positive influence on the kids and let them see that you're there for them and that you are impacting their lives in a positive way.
Shocked, stunned maybe, I don't know, honored completely. I do a lot, so it's nice to be recognized. So shocked is probably the more answer. I like dancing with the kids and singing with the kids. I haven't done it much this year, but I used to dress in costumes as crossing guard, and I like that, being able to connect with them on their level. So, dream big, fly high. We got this. Adams is a great school, and our kids are great.
And it is now my pleasure to announce the Enid Public Schools District Support Professional of the Year, Tina McGowan. We would love to hear a few words from you, Tina. It's so much fun.
Thank you. Very, very honored. I love the kids. I love what we do at Adams. Now I'm gonna cry. I'm really, really, truly honored. So I thank everybody for this, and congratulations to everybody else. And thank you, ladies.
Congrats to all of you. I forgot to say I wouldn't put you on the spot if you win. That's your prize. All right, and now it is time to introduce our Teacher of the Year finalists. Each of these educators has had the honor of being selected by their peers for their work in the classroom and their dedication to our students. Please come to the front as I read your name again so that Dr. Darrell Floyd and our foundation president can recognize and congratulate you individually. And again, family members, feel free to come up and take pictures of your special moment. Our first nominee is from Carver Early Childhood Center, Molly Lawrence. Molly is a pre-K teacher at Carver. She has been in education for 8 years, and she's spent all 8 of those years with our district. Molly says you must have patience, be flexible, have a sense of humor, and a passion for what you do to be a great teacher. Yeah, I think they can go back and have a seat. Thank you, Molly. Our next nominee is Allison Lintz from Adams Elementary. Allison is a first grade teacher. She has been a teacher for 4 years and has been with EPS for all those years. She says we are making a difference as educators. When you show up and you care, you're making a difference for your students. Thank you, Allison. Our teacher finalist from Coolidge Elementary is Sandra Lepard. Sandra has been in education for 14 years. She has been with EPS for 4 years. And she says, as an educator, I believe with all my heart that it is vital we wake up each day longing to unlock the potential in each student. Next, from Eisenhower Elementary, we have Tana Germanson. She has been with our district and has been a teacher for 24 years. She's a special education teacher at Eisenhower. Tana says now more than ever, teachers need the support of the community, parents, administration, and other teachers. This support can and should be reciprocated because we're on the same team and we share the same goal, student success. Thank you so much. Next, we have Jenny Scott from Garfield Elementary. Jenny teaches 5th grade. She has been an educator for 20 years, and she has spent 7 years with Enid Public Schools. She says each classroom is a community of future leaders. Teachers have the opportunity and the responsibility to help shape our future. We get to develop problem solvers and critical thinkers. Through our relationships, our modeling, and the example that we set, we can build the community we want for our children. Thank you. Next, from Glenwood Elementary, we have Jamie Sutherland. Jamie's been a teacher for 3 years. She has spent 3 years with EPS. I actually remember when she was a student teaching my youngest daughter over at Hayes. She says, I enjoy so many things about teaching, but the most enjoyable part is building relationships with my students. Connecting with my students makes teaching them so much easier because they know I am invested in them and I want them to succeed. Now, from Hayes Elementary, we have Mary Siebert. Mary has been a teacher for 5 years, and she spent all that time with Enid Public Schools. Mary says, our children are the future. Everything that we invest in them, we will get back tenfold. We need to do everything we can to set our children up to succeed, socially, emotionally, and cognitively. Thank you, Mary. Now from Hoover Elementary, we have first grade teacher, Sarah Harris. She's been a teacher for 4 years. She's spent all that time with our Enid Public Schools family. And she says if your students know that you care about them, it is so much easier to bridge the gap in academics, achievement, and behavior. Your students will not only try, but they will also succeed more. And from McKinley Elementary, we have pre-K teacher, Jessica Petro. Jessica has been a teacher for 6 years. She spent all that time working in public schools. She says every child, regardless of circumstance, should feel that they have someone who will continue to support them. It is my wish that students will continue to see that within me. Keep smiling. Next, from Monroe Elementary, we have music teacher Lori Flynn. Lori has been in education for 10 years. She has spent 7 years with Enid Public Schools. Lori says, challenges will come, but as long as they are in our classroom, let our students see only love in our eyes and a passion for the subjects we are sharing with them. Let us as educators keep the joy in teaching for the sake of our children. And from Prairie View Elementary, we have Tammy Duncan. Tammy is a librarian at Prairie View. She has been in education for 8 years. She spent those 8 years with Enid Public Schools. And Tammy says, our students are our future. It is up to us to cultivate tomorrow's leaders. Thank you, Tammy. And from Taft Elementary, we have pre-K teacher Charlotte Good. Charlotte's been an educator for 35 years. So she started as an infant, and she spent all that time with Enid Public Schools. She says teaching is the most challenging job you will ever do, but the rewards are great. Seeing students and former students grow and achieve is the best. Thank you so much. Now from Emerson Middle School, we have math teacher Mallory Stanley. Mallory's been a teacher for 4 years. She spent those 4 years with Enid Public Schools. And she says, I strive each day to teach with love and compassion in hopes of reaching students who haven't yet learned to believe in themselves yet, just like my teachers have done for me. It is a privilege to educate young minds, and I am proud to serve Enid's diverse community. I would not want to be a difference maker anywhere else. And from Longfellow Middle School, we have science teacher Wilma Williams Robinson. Wilma has been an educator for 20 She has spent 18 years in our district, and she says, my favorite thing about teaching is building relationships with scholars and their families. Teaching middle school, I get to see so many kids grow from babies into young adults that come back just to say hi and let me know that they made it. Thank you so much. From Waller Middle School, we have Megan Mansfield. Mrs. Mansfield teaches special education at Waller. She has been an educator for 8 years. She has spent those 8 years with Enid Public Schools. And she says, when students know you see the potential that lies within them, many will rise up to meet that expectation. Accept students as they are, but always believe greatness surrounds them and they will soar into the future, building great relationships with a new generation of learners. Thank you. And from Enid High School, we have Katie Bird. Katie has been an educator for 15 years. She has been with Enid Public Schools for 5 years. She says being a part of the process of teaching how to learn and helping students discover all kinds of opportunities for themselves is endlessly rewarding. Not to mention, EPS has some of the best educators I've ever worked with, and the daily interactions with them and our students are truly some of the best parts of teaching. Thank you, Katie. And last but not least, from Lincoln Academy, we have Scott Mick. Scott has been in education for 21 years. He has been with Enid Public Schools for 3 years. And he says, as educators, we hold the line between function and chaos. We have a calling to be the light for these kids in an increasingly dark world. I would tell fellow educators that it is a serious calling, but also a very rewarding one. Thank you so much. And Mark Gray and PSTP, they produced a video about our Teachers of the Year, so you can direct your eyes to the video board. Let's check that out and learn a little more about our finalists.
I learned how much I love kids and helping them learn and just getting to know them, building relationships. It's really just the little things you get to see with how kind children are. I love that.
Or when the kids really get something. They were working on a concept we're learning and it finally clicks for them. Teaching is something that's really hard and you have to work really hard at it, but the benefits outweigh the work because it's so much fun seeing children learn.
Well, I remember playing school with my sister and my friends. As I got older, I realized there was a lot more to it than just playing in my bedroom. The reward is so much more than what I thought it would be, and I love building relationships with my students. If you are truly wanting to be a teacher, do it for yourself, because if you are invested in that, then you would be a great teacher because that's what you want to do.
It combines two of my loves. I do love learning. I like the curriculum, but I also love children, so it is a perfect blend of both. I had a student a few years back that I was pretty sure hated school. I thought he might actually hate me, but we worked really hard to get him hooked up with a coach in the district so that he could get involved in sports. He would send his football schedule via his cousin to make sure that I was at every game. He wouldn't acknowledge me when I was at the football game, but he always made sure that I was there watching.
Just seeing the kids that I taught outside of the school running up and giving me a hug. I would say one that's mostly impacted me is a student struggled coming to school every day and getting the parents on board, and finally I got a phone call actually at the beginning of the school year saying that they appreciated everything I've done and they wish they would have seen it sooner. You can't change everyone, but you can change someone.
I became a teacher because I love education, just the idea of education. I feel like we learn our entire lives. You learn how to fix your dishwasher, you learn how to program, you know, a DVR or something, and if people know how to learn, they can be successful in life, and I like to be a part of that process. Absolute favorite part of teaching. They're interesting and they're colorful, and to be able to tailor what I do to get them excited. Like when they latch on to that lesson or they love a piece of literature, they think something is funny, those are my favorite times.
Music was always a big deal, and it was just so much fun to be in that classroom, and so teaching it was where I thought I could share that enjoyment that I had with other kids. So I really just wanted to share how much fun I had in school with future generations. And so it's just those moments where you're just so excited and you see it in the kids and they just are enjoying what they're doing. And that to me is the best memory all the time. You know, that's the constant memory that happens in my classroom.
I wanted to be with the kids and make a difference. I've always worked with kids, and I just love building positive relationships and making a difference. The program had the students write a letter towards the end of the year, and 2 of my students wrote me a letter, and one of them told me that I changed her life and made her want to work hard and never give up. It's like the day's never boring, each day's never the same, so just laughing with my students every day and just being able to try and make math fun, because a lot of people don't like math, so.
I think I really just need to be with kids, and I realized whenever I switched to early childhood that I just loved being in a classroom with kids and helping them, and they just give me energy and it's fun. Most of the kids know their sounds and they're tapping out words, and they're just realizing that they can do it and they can read. It's just really fun to see them so excited and proud of themselves.
I became a teacher because so many people in my family are teachers, and I had such great leadership within the education community. It was just kind of something that I was born to do. There's going to be hurdles that you're not taught in college, you're not taught when you student teach. You just kind of have to take them as they go, roll with the punches and let things slide right off your back, because you never know who's watching. You know, the kids definitely see you in your attitude every single day.
And so I've been with it. I love it. I've been with it ever since. I love working with young kids. My favorite memories of being a teacher is just seeing a child do something that they couldn't do and then master it in the end. And then you're just like, look what you can do now. You know, and it's like a big celebration.
I have always loved children, and just my mom's a teacher, my grandparents are teachers, so it's kind of in the blood. And so I just came by it naturally, and I would go and visit my mom and help her when I was in high school, and I just fell in love with reading to the kids and helping them. We have standards that we want them to meet, but we've got to meet them where they are and then grow them and build that confidence with them. So number one, just have confidence in yourself and just know that you're there to love on them in all aspects for the whole child, not just the academics.
I worked at a bear sanctuary where I was doing more education than really anything else, and I fell in love with the education aspect. And so when I came back to Oklahoma, I went back to school and became a teacher. We do sound walls, and my favorite moment of teaching has been when we were unlocking the M sound off of our sound wall. One of my students was able to tell me that it is a nasal because the air has to come out of your nose. Before I could even talk about it, he was just like, and figured it out on his own. My favorite moment, favorite memory, favorite everything.
I had great teachers and I had great football coaches, and so with the love for football and a good education, I decided that that's what I wanted to do with my life, and so went to college, and that's what I did. I had a class throw me a 30th birthday party, and for some reason it was pink themed. It's funny because I'm wearing a pink shirt today, which wasn't planned, but it was pink themed, and they, the girls in the class thought it was hilarious and got all this stuff, and that was a good time.
I didn't set out to be a teacher, to be honest with everybody. I started out in the business world, and teaching found me. It was something I came to be a parent volunteer in the library and loved it, and it just became something that I did. I had a little girl who said, I want to have a bigger book. And so we sat down and we sat on the story steps and read the book together. And later on, she came up to me and said, that was so exciting, Miss Duncan. I love the book, and I love the fact that I got to read it with a princess, because that was the day I just happened to be dressed up like a princess.
I enjoy finding that what makes them learn. It's almost like an investigation. Everybody learns differently. Every peg doesn't fit in the same hole. And so for me, it's really important to find out how they learn, how they think. We all think and learn differently. That everybody feels special, because when your class buys into what you're teaching, they're going to stand up for you, they're going to be a part of your class. So make your class their room, not your room, but their room.
I became a teacher because I like seeing growth in kids. I like starting off dark days when no one has any idea what's going on, and then watching them grow through a unit, mastering subjects. And then later on coming back and having kids come back and say, I like science now, or I became a scientist because. One of the students I first started teaching here is now in medical school, and she credits me with starting that love for science in her life. I'll never forget her. You can't be stuck on what you learned in college. You have to be willing to change with your clients, who are the students, with your administration, and learn to love it from the inside out. That's where the spark comes from.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thank you!
Thank you! Thank you!
Thank you to Margaret for getting all that video footage. I always love watching that video. Notoriously, my very first year, I did cry and then had to announce the Teacher of the Year. So they let me preview it now so that I didn't cry, and I know. Dr. Floyd will get on me if I don't remind you that at the conclusion, we want to get a group teacher or a group picture of all of our support and teacher finalists. So if you could come up to the front before you disperse at the end of the night, we would appreciate that. To our teacher finalists, thank you so much for giving freely of yourselves to our students every day. The Teacher of the Year finalists all completed portfolios. First you win an award, and then we give you work to do. And then that is reviewed by a group of community members. And they don't know who's who or what school you're from. They just review it from portfolios. And this year there was a lot of discussions. There were so many good choices. They really struggled to make a decision. We had a really arduous task due to the number of outstanding candidates. So if we could one more time give all of our finalists a round of applause. And now, if you could please join me in congratulating the 2022-2023 Enid Public Schools District Teacher of the Year, Sandra Lepard. Generally, Sandra is addressing pre-K kids, and I've learned over the years that teachers really don't love to address other grown-ups, but I would love it if you'd say a few words.
Shay jinxed me. She's like, you have a speech ready? I'm like, oh, there's so many good kids. I am floored. I'm humbled. I have to share, if any of you, Mrs. Good was my daughter's pre-K teacher, so she can appreciate. My daughter is humorous, and she goes, Mom, in every photo, every video, you have that white jacket on. So I guess I'm gonna have to go shopping. But anyway, I don't have a speech prepared, but my success comes from our team. We have an amazing pre-K team. I don't know if any of them are up there in the Sands Loop. I've had great mentors. I started out very well at Hoover, and I'm just honored and blessed to have the support that I have and the team, and I hope I represent you well. I hope you know what you got into. Just kidding. Thank you. I'm very humbled.
Thank you again for being here. Thank you to all of our sponsors who made it possible. We have a really supportive community that helps our schools anytime we reach out to them. Thank you for being here tonight. And again, you're a finalist. Don't remember to come on up for a picture, a group picture. And that concludes our program. Thanks for coming.